Guys, Porsche prices, they're tanking. The Cayenne Coupe has depreciated over 38% in the past 18 months. The Panamera depreciated 32% in the past 18 months as well. And the TAYCAN, don't even get me started, has depreciated a whopping 32% in the past 12 months. But the car market as a whole in the past 6 months has been going down the gutter. Now, what goes up must come down. And it's not just Porsche. We're seeing the market crash on virtually every single car. But today, I'm gonna use Porsche as an example of how exactly we got into this mess. And as you can see, I'm a huge Porsche fan, so I'm gonna be using the GT3 market for an example. Now, let's go back to 2018, when a 991.2 GT3 manual with an MSRP of around $160,000 would sit on the lot for months before anyone would buy it. And the first buyer would demand a $30,000 discount to be enticed enough to give the dealership their money. So these GT3s were having their second birthdays as the whole world was shutting down due to the pandemic. And with the chip shortage, it affected all car prices. But it was the Porsche GT cars that benefited the most from the supply chain issue, if you had bought one pre-pandemic. Now guys, let's jump on the trusty dusty computer and take a look at a couple of the different markets and what was so crazy about them. Guys, this is it, your last chance. This Bayside Blue GTR giveaway ends in just hours. And once it's gone, it is gone forever. Click the link, grab a shirt, grab a slap, or a quick entry pack, and you're gonna get 250x multiplier, the biggest we've ever offered. And right now, the odds are the best that they've ever been, and the shot at winning has never been higher. Don't let it slip, get entered today, and good skill.
Ideal Collective. Shop, buy, win.
Here, first, pre-pandemic, check out this like new 1,100 mile, 1-year-old GT3 that sold for $130K. Now, if we take a look, MSRP was $155, and given the discounts that I told you about the dealers giving pre-pandemic, the first owner probably paid $30K less and either broke even or even made a little bit of money on this deal. Now, if we go back to the chart, if you follow this average sales line, you can see only a few cars sold between 2020 and 2021. Then bam, in 21, look at this cluster of cars all selling for $200,000 plus. And the market stayed hot for a little while. So let's take a look at this one. It's a blue GT3. Huh, that is beautiful. And like that red GT3 bought pre-pandemic, this one was bought for probably around 130,000 bucks and sold for $202,000 plus fees. That's a $70,000 markup on a GT3. So it begs the question, well, how could this be happening? Well, remember the chip shortage that was affecting new cars and not a lot of them were being built? Well, the 992 GT3, the newest generation, dealers were asking $100,000 ADM, or additional dealer markup. So, check this out. Here is your 992 GT3 chart. And right off the bat, you can see these cars started trading hands around $300,000 on average. And MSRP on these started under $200. So let's click into this one. That is a beautiful car with a $206,000 MSRP. So when you factor in auction fees, this example sold for over $100,000 more than its original asking price. But as you can see with this blue line, the average sale price over time has been decreasing rapidly, with one just selling for roughly its manufacturer's suggested retail price of $212,000 plus fees. And guys, to really drive this whole thing home, let's take a look at this car that got sold not once, but twice this year. First, it was purchased on an auction site in June for $170,000 plus fees, and it had 14,000 miles on it. Then, 6 months later, with the same exact mileage, it sold for $158,000. So guys, the market, it's correcting, and cars, even special ones like the GT3s, are depreciating like any used car should. So how come for a while there, they didn't? Well, the pandemic really shortened the supply, so it made the GT3 become somewhat of a numbered car for a hot minute. See, when there is a limited supply, people, well, they're willing to pay more because they can get it today instead of getting it tomorrow or next year or the year after. But Porsche is laughing all the way to the bank because they're pumping out 3,000 plus GT3s and GT3 RSs per generation, which wasn't the norm with the 997 or 996 gen. So while they felt limited initially, once the chip shortage was figured out, the market became flooded with them for sale. Hence why you saw a huge spike in the number of cars transacting in 2021 on the chart. Also, because of the markup of the 992 GT3 commanding a $100,000 premium, the older 991.2 GT3, which is essentially the same car, went from a car sold for under MSRP to a car that was 10 to 15% cheaper and more available to purchase than the 992. Now, that $100,000 markup on GT3s had a trickle-down effect that all 911 buyers had to endure. Okay, so picture this. You're sitting down in a showroom and this beautiful $200,000 GT3 is staring at you, but the dealer, they want 300 grand for it. So now when a shopper's going in there to buy a Carrera S for 130,000 bucks, when there's only an asking of a $10,000 markup for the right to buy that car, sounds like a steal of a deal. It made the lesser models sell like hotcakes because with very limited supply, paying a slight markup to have it today felt like a no-brainer. And even dealers used this to their advantage, hiking prices even on cars that weren't hot sellers, which played with our minds and gave us a higher perceived value of a car's desirability. Also, it added pressure to buyers to make us feel like if we decided to pass on a specific car, well, there was no chance that we would be able to find another one anytime soon. And like I said, it wasn't just Porsche. We saw this with Mercedes when they were asking $100K over MSRP to buy a new G-Wagon. And then their mid-tier GLE, well, with a slight markup, sold. Or even Ford with the Bronco Raptor with a $72,000 MSRP that were selling for $130,000. So you go into the Ford dealer, you see that thing for $60K over, and now all of a sudden that Bronco Sasquatch with a $10K over markup. Again, buyers felt like they were getting a deal. Everyone was selling cars for markups, which is why we hit a record high of almost $50,000 for average new car prices. So today, yes, there were 4 big things that happened to get us to where we are today. First was the impact of economic factors. You see, the demographic interested in Porsche, particularly high-end models like the GT3s, the GT3 RSs, and the GT4 RSs, are the most affected by the rising interest rates and tech industry layoffs. These economic pressures directly affect the demand for luxury cars. Second is Porsche's production strategy. Porsche has been releasing more cars in different versions, like the Spider and the RS models. This approach seems to aim at curbing speculation and encouraging purchases based on enjoyment rather than investment potential. Third, you got Porsche's brand philosophy. I mean, Porsche, they're going back to their roots and what made them absolutely great. They want to be known for making cars for enthusiasts and actual users, not just investors or speculators. I mean, in recent years, there's been a trend of people buying Porsches only to resell them for higher prices, often without even using them. I mean, look, there's cars out there that they haven't even taken the plastic off the seats yet. And lastly, it's great for us enthusiasts today because it's a shift towards true enthusiasts. Porsche's strategy of releasing various versions of their models appears to be an effort to attract real car enthusiasts back to their brand, moving away from the buyers who treat their cars purely as investment opportunities. So guys, to sum this all up, Porsche, a leader in the enthusiast market, is shifting away from building investment quality limited edition cars to a more unlimited production of each variant, meaning they will depreciate. Yes, it's awesome for any enthusiast like you and me. It's the start of a monumental shift to pre-pandemic pricing. It's going to encourage owners to get out there and drive them instead of treating them like a garage queen investment, which is exactly what they were built to do. Well, not the garage queen part. So, why don't we go for a quick drive? Now guys, this is the 996 C4S that I bought pre-pandemic for $19,500, and now they're trading hands for double that. But real quick, let me show you around what a $40,000 Porsche looks like. First up, since it's a C4S, you got the brakes from a turbo and these awesome 5-spoke alloys. Inside, you even got Bose sound. You got some, well, pretty good looking leather, 85,000 miles on the odometer, and a pretty dated interior. Now, for the business end, 4 liters of fury. Yes, the crazy thing about this specific car is it actually has a 4 liter because, well, these cars have bore score and IMS, RMS issues, so LOL, right? Now, is this a $40,000 car? I don't know. I mean, realistically, it doesn't drive like a $40,000 Porsche, but that's what they're trading hands for now. So, if the top of the market, you know, the 992s, the 991s, and even the 997s start to come down in price once again, the starter Porsche like this one, yeah, it's gonna be more than attainable. And guys, that's what being a car enthusiast is all about. It's about driving, enjoying, and connecting with fellow enthusiasts like this guy right here. It's not about bragging about how much money you're gonna make on your ride by not driving it. It's an exciting time to love cars because, like us and probably like you, we didn't buy these ideal cars to make money on them. We bought them to drive them. We bought them to enjoy them. And it was an attainable dream car. So with this market correction, keep your eyes peeled because, well, there's gonna be deals out there real soon. And that's gonna happen before you know it. So guys, if you enjoyed this video and you want more content like it, let us know in the comments below. We really enjoyed making it, and ideal cars are more than just cars for us. They're actual things that make the world go round. And so if you enjoyed this vid, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, turn on that notification bell. I'm Brad, that's Trav, this is Ideal, and promise me one thing, keep living the ideal lifestyle.